News 4 investigates, confirming that two lawyers and top staff for former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner are calling it quits. An office spokesperson confirms that Chris Hinckley, who is the chief warrant officer, will have his last day on Friday. Hinckley has been with the office for almost 6 years. He heads the department responsible for issuing arrest warrants, cases known as pending application of warrant or PAW. Currently, there is a backlog of thousands of those types of cases. Police tell us the latest count is more than 3,800. We are also learning that Gardner's second in command quit as well. Serena Wilson Griffin was the first assistant circuit attorney. She was the top manager in the office, operating essentially as a chief of staff. No confirmation on what either plan to do next.